Imagine watching an Air Force pilot tear through violent storm cells, carving through hurricanes, slipping between walls of turbulence that should rip a jet apart. Now imagine realizing he's not doing it with high-tech instruments. He's not using radar. He's not even looking. He's flying blindfolded and somehow still landing on the exact runway at the exact second with impossible precision. That is the scale of what just unfolded with 3i Atlas. In the past few days, a flood of new images and observational logs arrived, and together they completely rewrite everything we thought we understood about this interstellar projectile. We're no longer dealing with improbable coincidences stacked on top of each other. We're looking directly at physical behavior that should not exist in a natural object. Get ready, because what comes next blends cutting-edge astrophysics, logic-breaking mechanics, and that unsettling electric sensation that whispers, "We are definitely not alone." Between November 22nd and 24th, both amateur and professional telescopes captured something that violates every rule in the textbook. 3i Atlas is firing jets in two opposite directions simultaneously. Picture an F-22 Raptor launching missiles forward and backward at the same moment, each with surgical precision. A blazing anti-tail blasting straight at the sun like a cosmic spear of plasma. A dominant main tail stretching nearly 5 million kilometers into the opposite direction. The anti-tail punches into the solar wind with enough force to carve through a storm of charged particles as if the sun were firing bullets, and this object simply ignored them. To visualize the absurdity, if 3i Atlas were the size of a Ford F-150, its tail would be a highway system stretching from San Francisco to New York 3 times round trip. And here's where the story shifts from bizarre to impossible. To generate an anti-tail that can penetrate the solar wind, the object would need to eject billions of tons of material in just a few weeks. If it were a natural comet relying on simple sublimation, ice turning into gas, it would be like trying to melt the entire Grand Canyon with a cheap plastic lighter. The numbers are brutal. Normal sublimation gas speed, 400 mph required to punch through solar wind, 400,000 mph. Difference, a 1,000-fold leap. The only way to reconcile that is if this interstellar visitor were equipped not with porous icy vents but with something closer to multi-stage rocket thrusters. But hold on, it gets even more cinematic. Back in 2020, the Juno spacecraft detected something bizarre near Ganymede, a structured radio signal that should not exist. Think of intercepting a scrambled transmission from a classified Air Force facility. Frequency range, 341 MHz, same band as AM radio broadcasts. Duration and strength, far above natural plasma emissions. Structure, anomalous, patterned. It was as if a massive antenna were temporarily activated near Jupiter. And then came another piece of the puzzle. Circulating, unverified reports claiming that NASA instruments had spotted a damaged structure near Ganymede. A station, debris, something artificial. Coincidence, perhaps. But where is 3i Atlas heading? Directly toward that very region. Now we finally understand the impossible precision we catalogued earlier, because recent high-resolution imagery shows that 3i Atlas performed a subtle but exact course adjustment as it swept past the Sun, a maneuver perfectly aligned to place it on track for Jupiter's Lagrange points on March 16, 20. It was the equivalent of a spacecraft using autopilot more advanced than what SpaceX, NASA, or even classified military systems possess, making microscopic trajectory corrections like a high-altitude predator drone locking onto a target. If this object were a probe or something carrying probes, these Lagrange points would be the optimal locations for long-term orbital deposits. We use these points ourselves for the exact same reason. And now the part that changed everything, the amateur revolution. Backyard astronomers have stepped into history. Observers like Mitsunori, Sumura, Paul Craggs, and Eleanor Walter captured images that major observatories either missed or processed too slowly due to scheduling constraints. It's like someone with a budget telescope bought from a local store snapped the smoking gun photo that the world's iconic observatories overlooked. Today, a properly stabilized home video can reveal rotational patterns, chromatic variations, and internal structures that redefine the nature of 3i Atlas. As these images proliferated, scientists were forced to confront 4 explanations, none of them comforting. The 4 endgame scenarios. 1. The impossible comet. Natural sublimation of exotic gases producing the phenomena, but the energy requirements are millions of times higher than possible. 2. Unknown exotic physics. New, undiscovered natural behavior. This would force us to rewrite almost every advanced astronomy textbook in existence. 3. A classified human accident. Debris or technology from a covert military project. But we possess nothing remotely capable of these maneuvers or energies. 4. Extraterrestrial technology, deliberate propulsion, intentional trajectory shaping, strategic maneuvering, and so far, this is the only explanation that fits all the observed data perfectly. The moment of truth approaches. In the coming weeks, decisive tests begin. December 9, high-resolution spectroscopy to measure jet velocity, Hubble and Webb imagery to reveal internal structure, deep-field chemical analysis to determine natural gas versus engineered exhaust. If we detect exhaust velocities in kilometers per second, not meters, engineered chemical ratios, structured patterns or geometry in the core, then the natural comet hypothesis collapses completely. If instead the behavior can be modeled with extreme sublimation physics, then we've discovered a new category of interstellar object. Either way, our understanding of the universe is about to shatter. The 13 impossible anomalies, the dossier. Then comes the complete anomaly list, a collection of red flags so extraordinary they redefine what unusual means. I will rewrite all 13 anomalies in the same flow, same length, and same cinematic tone you provided. 1. Retrograde trajectory, statistically impossible, moving opposite to 99.9% of solar system objects, almost guaranteed origin beyond the sun's sphere of influence. 2. Directed anti-tail, jets firing straight at the sun, behavior never observed in any comet. 3. Overmassive core, density and spectral reflections inconsistent with rock or ice, suggesting metallic or engineered structure. 4. Perfect arrival timing, shows up precisely when humanity has a global sensor network capable of tracking it. 5. Strange metallic ratios, nickel and trace metals in patterns matching no known natural body. 6. No water signature, a comet without water, a contradiction in terms. 7. Negative polarization, light scattering behavior unexplained by known physical surfaces. 8. Arrival from WOW signal region, approach vector aligned with humanity's most famous unexplained transmission. 9. Sudden blue luminosity, brightness surges suggest internal power, not sunlight. 10. Impossible thermal output, radiating more heat than its mass should allow. 11. Non-gravitational acceleration, 62,000 miles of deliberate-looking course correction. 12. Extremely collimated jets, laser-sharpened streams that no natural rotation could produce. 13. Jupiter targeting precision, a trajectory threading within 35,000 miles of a gravitational capture zone spanning over 33 million miles. A statistical impossibility, unless it was intentional. The convergence of anomalies is no longer something we can casually dismiss. The interstellar projectile has shown its hand, its maneuvers are recorded, the evidence is public, and the countdown to truth has begun. In March 2026, we will know whether we've discovered revolutionary new physics, or humanity's first confirmed artificial interstellar visitor. The cosmic pilot continues its impossible journey, threading a path no natural object could create. All we can do now is watch, and wait, and ask ourselves the question that is becoming harder and harder to avoid. Do you still believe in cosmic coincidences, or is something far more extraordinary unfolding in the darkness between stars? The truth is only weeks away, and it may change everything.